Meanwhile, over 100 American cities could go bankrupt in 2011 as the debt crisis threatens to spark a municipal meltdown. That is according to the U.S. research analyst Meredith Whitney, who correctly predicted the global credit crunch. Whitney has described local and state debt as the biggest problem facing the U.S. economy and says it could derail its recovery. New York City, Detroit, San Francisco and Los Angeles are among the cities feared to go bust in 2011. American cities and states are set to have in total debts of as much as $2 trillion. Well, for more on that story, we're now joined by Roland Amore, who is with Oppenheimer & Co., who joins us via satellite from Washington. Sir, as always, thank you for joining our broadcast. Now, Ms. Whitney, who was once a managing director at your firm, has claimed that we will see 50 to 100 sizable defaults. For the layman, what does that mean?
Basically, what that means is this. Years of building up liabilities, pension liabilities for state and city workers that have to be paid out upon their retirement. For many years, these liabilities accrued. With the financial crisis that we've had over the past 2 years and a shortfall in revenue to municipalities, which, by the way, is both states and cities, this problem has come to the fore. What needs to be done is hard decisions need to be made. What we see is states like New Jersey renegotiating the contracts, because most of this is union pension obligations, and if they renegotiate the contracts, they can escape. If not, the only way to escape the provisions in the liability would be to declare bankruptcy, and which would be a terrible thing, especially if you had 100 municipalities do it. I think that might be a worst-case analysis, however.
Right now, denials of Whitney's conclusions have been quick and blunt from the likes of Bloomberg, Fortune, and certain analysts as well. Who's right?
As usual in economics, which is a better science to look back and make projections, I believe that Ms. Whitney is probably stated the worst case. If the economy continues in dire straits over the next year, we can start seeing these municipal bankruptcies and so forth. However, with the pickup in the economy, which we're starting to see signs of now, I think we can avoid or escape most of that to give these municipalities, these cities, and these states time over the next couple of years to start renegotiating and to take themselves out of the line of fire so that this problem doesn't come up again.
Right now, Ms. Whitney also says in her report, and I'm quoting her now, "I see a lack of transparency and an abundance of complacency on the part of investors and politicians, just as we saw before the banks imploded," end quote. Is this issue down to simple denial, or does politics have a lot to do with it?
Well, I don't think you can disengage politics from denial. They go hand in hand. The problem is many people view it differently, okay? As an example, if the economy is okay, the problem goes away. It's only a minuscule difference in economic performance that can bring this problem to the forefront. Also, talking about the transparency, and Ms. Whitney is correct about that, a lot of these financing liabilities are not really in the line of sight to many states or investors. So there are some surprises out there. I think Ms. Whitney does make a valid point right there.
Right now, and if this is, as Ms. Whitney claims, the largest threat to the U.S. economy, what steps can be and need to be taken now to alleviate further negative consequences because of this?
Well, you know, the steps that have to be taken, and with a certain amount of immediacy, she's correct in that, is that there needs to be a renegotiation of states with their future liabilities and obligations. We see this happening in the state of New Jersey. New governor there, he's been there 2 years, Chris Christie, and he's out there and he's slashing the way the state spends, number one, and number two, he's cutting down his liabilities by renegotiating the contracts. It's a case of simple economics. These are the two things that have to be done. Otherwise, there is no other course but bankruptcy.
All right, we'll have to leave it there for now. That was Roland Amore with Oppenheimer & Co. joining us via satellite from Washington. Sir, as always, we appreciate your insight here at Press TV.